Wait, you always count.
I'm a dumbass. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Triforce Tactics podcast. That was not me that said hello, but it is me saying this is Spicy Appies. I'm joined by my co-host Jirachi
Hi.
and Ramkev.
I forgot to count today.
We are joined today by a pretty pog guest, also known as PockyGom. PockyGom, not PockyGom, but who is wearing a sick hat today. His hat might be the best hat I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. It's like it really blends the perfect amount of like derpy and cute. It's perfect. It looks like Kirby. I'm just gonna move on. Anyways, welcome to episode 12 of the Triforce Tactics podcast. There are some big happenings in TFT this week, particularly a tournament this weekend, which we're going to get into a little bit. This episode is going to be a little shorter than usual because I have to go play in that tournament.
Playing in tournaments.
Yeah, we can just start out how we always do. My week was pretty good. I'm a notorious slacker when it comes to like preparing for things in general in life, but I feel like this is one of the first tournaments the first TFT tournament and one of the first like tournaments between like Smash, Pokemon, or whatever I've ever been in where I don't feel like I'm like cramming the day before the test, you know? Like I've been doing my homework all week. I've been learning. I've had a very educational week. I've watched like 30 hours of TFT the last like 3 days. I've been on Kevin's stream more than I'd like to admit. I've been lurking more than I'd like to admit. But yeah, I've been bunkering down learning. How's your week been, Jirachi?
I've done the complete opposite and barely touched the game because I'm going into like full on like back into the practice grind mode for trombone stuff because I have 3 concerts next week. Which, spoiler, I'm not going to be on the episode next week either because I have a Wind Symphony concert that night, and then the night before, orchestra and a quintet recital in the same night. So that's going to be not fun for my face. But I'm in full on practice grind mode for that, so I've like barely touched TFT, and when I am, I'm kind of just like dicking around and limit testing and trying new shit. When really I should just be watching streams. So I need to kind of watch some more streams, but that's fine. I'm still plat 1.
I gotta say, I
like 50 games. It's fine.
I totally underestimated like the rambling method of like the way to grind is just watch people not play games because watching people is so much better at making you better at the game. It's actually fucking crazy.
You know, why limit test when you can watch someone else limit test?
Yeah,
for
right.
You?
Like
it's at stake.
If I want to like figure out how to play like a loose streak opener, I can open up 10 different streams, see who's loose streaking, and see how it goes. And then as soon as the beginning of the game's over, I just move to the next person who's loose streaking. It's like so much more effective to figure out like what I want to do in certain spots. So I've been happy with that. How have you been, Kevin?
I've been good. I keep on running it down at night. I thought this is crazy. Like, I'll close stream, I'll play the game, I'll be like, oh my god, let's do like the worst garbage you've ever seen in your life. So I played like just so much awful garbage, like Shojin Titans freaking Ezreal carry. That one was real bad.
What the hell?
That one
Sounds
was real
so
bad.
gross.
Isn't his
so bad?
Isn't his mana like 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't even work for him properly.
No, it's like a 3 auto cast.
I did like I tried 6 in Samira with which was like okay, but she also didn't have healing, so it was like I'm pretty sure my Swain was doing more damage, so that like it's crazy though. Like
I think I was in that game.
yeah.
I remember seeing that.
That doesn't sound very good though, does it? Because like I feel like the melee Samira is probably not like it really hit more than 1 unit anyways, so it's gonna like not get its mana back, and then it's gonna.
I'm pretty sure I put an RFC on her.
While being a Sith.
Like, yeah, it's the problem ran deeper than the Sin Spat. Or the no healing.
So
the problem
bad.
runs a little deeper.
Like I look back on my match history at nighttime and I'm like, oh my god.
I was
Holy shit.
I was telling everyone about this before the podcast started, but Cardax messaged me the other day on the League client. It was like, man, your region's so free about the turbo climb on NA or something. And then I went to check my match history because I was like, man, how true is that? And I was like trying to limit test like hard forcing blue buff Twitch reroll, and I was like, oh yeah, no, it is free.
Mhm.
This shit's free as
I
fuck.
mean, I'm pretty sure our server is legitimately just like 70% Urgot one tricks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's,
And that's
If they're not playing Urgot,
it's,
they're playing Yone.
That's true even down in like Diamond and Plat still. Yeah.
it's actually it's such bad state.
Yeah.
the caves get in.
Okay, I low-key hate everyone who's like, wow, set 6 is the best set ever, and I'm just like, you
I
realize
think
this
it's
shit's
lit.
I
It's
do
lit,
too. I do
but you
too.
realize how unbalanced everything is, right?
It's not balanced. Like
What are you
For-
talking about?
you know, for
TF's
it
a 5
being
cost, Yumi's a 10
Yep.
cost.
Mhm. For it being start of set, like I get it, it's a ton of fun, and like we're all having a great time. But stop pretending this is already the best set ever. Like it's still pretty. The game's not that great right now. It's just
That's
fresh and fun, and it has potential clearly, but it's really unbalanced right now. It always is start of set.
It feels better than other starts of the set.
Oh yeah,
Though.
Yes,
Agreed.
It's
That I
definitely
agree
way
with.
better
That's
than
for
other parts
sure.
of the sets.
It's
So it's like you can
because so
still
many people
play anything.
played.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so many people played PvE,
Yeah.
so they probably got so much data from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you can play so much still. Like, you know,
Mhm.
people meme on a lot of the reroll comps, but like I don't think like Shaco is that bad. You can
Shaco
play,
sucks
like-
actually.
I've seen it do well. No, I've seen it do well.
It can do well in the right circumstances, but like, I
Yeah.
think everything feels very situational right now, besides like Urgot Yone, etc., which is not bad, I don't think. It just like rewards limit testing literally like everything.
It is so hard to hard force with augments being a thing, which you know,
Yeah.
Riot hates hard forcers, so like cool.
Oh, I
I
don't
don't
know. Like I hard force Elderwood Mutant every single game it's available to me.
Yeah.
Hey, they stopped 2020s. There we go.
If there was
Oh,
a
Yeah,
game,
you can't 2020
Yeah.
for sure.
You
Yeah.
can't 2020, but like you
You can
kind of
try
have
to.
you have to hard force in based off your augments, but you can't
Yeah.
2020 anymore.
but you can 15 out of 20 Yumi.
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Anyway,
Or
Pocky, how's your
um,
week been, by the way?
My week been.
We skipped
I thought-
over that.
I thought- understood the set, and then today and yesterday it's been running it down.
Oh
Like
no,
four-
it happens.
If you check my LOL chest, like 4.8 average
Ooh.
placement.
No.
It's
Oh,
fucking-
that's pretty nice. That's
it's pretty
that's
nice.
a nice number.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, Pocky,
It's a
I
high
was like,
score.
yeah, I think my average was like 2 point something until I was like 200 LP. This was the night before the snapshot for the getting top 32 of this
Oh,
tournament.
right.
And then I went like 6886 or something. And then I
Yeah.
went from 200 LP to 0 LP after not bot foring like a single game for like 20 games. And it just completely unclicked and I didn't qualify for top 32. So I have to play today.
Yeah, I was watching
dude.
Appy's stream and he was like legit just 10 LP off of like
The cutoff.
being in the
right?
spot, and then I went to like
Yeah.
do some grocery shopping, came back, tuned in again. I was like, oh no,
Zero. I literally went
What?
to 200. I hit 0, then I bounced back up to 100. It was bad. It was
Oh.
real bad.
Oh god. It's okay, Pocky. My average right now past 20 is a 4.7 in plat.
Oh shit.
I
That's
told you
better.
I've been dicking around. It's not good. Like me dicking around has been a very bad thing, and I've decided no. When I play this game, I'm going to like sit down and hard grind. But I've been dicking around. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just got to. I think at the beginning of the set too. I remember there was a game I played. Kevin was in this lobby. I just had a bunch of Zyras, so I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna try and reroll Zyra." It was like Rageblade, Shojin, and every single round
I remember
winning.
that one.
I was winning every round, but she was doing like 90% physical damage.
Oh, you
Dude,
could
the
do that
game
with
on-
built different. It would be super good with built different.
Yeah,
no?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But the unit was just like, I was like, oh, this Zyra's gonna do so much fucking damage, but then she was just autoing like Braum 2 to death, and I was like, oh yeah, this is lit. This is so sick.
Yeah, Zyra does a surprisingly high amount of damage though. That unit
Yeah.
can actually like
Yeah.
If you
club
give it
backline.
Arcanist back. Yeah.
You know what the best thing to see when you play Zyra is when you see people someone that take the target dummies thing and they play like Force Sniper
Oh,
and like,
background.
everything's in the back line and the Zyra ult just stuns the entire team for 2 seconds and chunks them all. Oh, it's so satisfying. That unit's so fun. So fun. Um, but yeah, so a little off topic, I guess. No, not really off topic, I guess. We're just talking about set six today. But Pocky, so if you want to quickly just like introduce yourself, your competitive background, your background in TFT, for anyone who might not know you.
My background. I've been playing TFT since it came out, and I don't know what I would say about this. I, I don't know. I've just been climbing the ladder all the time, and just more recently, I've been doing competitive for TFT
Mhm.
because
Tournament
nothing
god.
else to do yet.
Ladder Adonis turned tournament god, essentially.
I wish. I wish. I'm so bad on ladder.
Pocky is also astonishingly cute.
In the hat. The hat is so nice. I'm not gonna stop talking about that hat because I want that hat.
You want the hat? I think I got it in like Prime Park or something. Like just some random store.
I'm gonna track it down. I'm gonna find one, and I'm not gonna wear it. I'm just gonna like, put it on a pedestal in my room, like make a shrine to it.
That's what hats are for, right?
Yeah. So, we talked a little bit about how there is a tournament this weekend, the Piltover Cup. For anyone who does not know, it is the first big tournament, like big Giant Slayer tournament for this set. So it's one of the first ways to get to Worlds this set because there hasn't actually even been a snapshot, like ladder snapshot going towards Worlds yet. So it is actually the first thing, this set that will let people kind of start that path to Worlds. Pocky, do you have any predictions on like who you think is going to do well, like what the meta is going to look like, anything like you really want to go off your chest about this tournament?
For the tournament? Well, at least for the snapshot, I'm not really sure. I just see certain players are doing really well.
Mhm.
Like, look at Nubal's ball chest. I'm just like, holy shit.
Is he popping off?
His average placement is like 2 or something, 2.5
Oh my
or
God.
something.
Wait, I feel like
Yeah.
every time New
Wait, let me
Bal's in
check his
my
all
lobby, he got 4s.
Oh, that's it. But his average placement overall is like insane. But he's not
Wait,
playing
actually,
that
maybe
much.
he doesn't bot 4, but I always end up going first when New Bal's in my lobby, at least recently. New Bal should be in
What
more
is
of my lobbies.
what is his name on wall chess?
I
It's
do
not
well.
IG New Bell. Okay.
He's
Yeah.
not playing in Piltover though.
He's,
Wait,
I think he's
really?
busy. Kano was telling me. I think
He's
that
just
Yeah.
he's
busy.
yeah,
He
he has
started
like
work. He
yeah.
started work recently or something. So
Okay, yeah.
busy
I
with
mean, good
that
on
stuff.
him for prioritizing what he finds important, right? So
Yeah.
you can't really, yeah.
But
Yeah,
Shame him for.
coming from me, who, yeah, same deal. Yeah, I get it. It's fine.
His most played is Mundo. He didn't.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
Mundo's
guess
a
like
same
most
player.
people know. It's that
Mundo is Mundo goes where he pleases,
No.
and where he pleases is on everybody's fucking board.
Mundo goes
Mundo
where
and
he
Yumi.
pleases.
Mundo and Yumi. Just
Mundo
those
goes where he
two.
pleases as long as it's top 4.
Yeah.
That
Man.
unit feels so okay. I feel like
yeah.
this is I guess a quick, not really an aside because I think Mundo's gonna be very popular in this tournament. I think just from like how ladders felt and at least how the NA scene has felt, I think we're seeing a shit ton of Urgot, and when people miss their Urgot, they're gonna play Yone.
Yeah.
And with Urgot comes Mundo, and I think Mundo is, I don't know how people feel about this, but I feel like he is one of the only frontliners that feels like a really premier frontliner past like one cost units.
Wait, what about Braum? Braum is
Braum doesn't take hits like a Mundo does.
I guess so.
But Brom CC's a lot though.
Yeah,
He
Braum
does CC a lot.
CC,
long as-
Yeah,
Braum's
yeah.
positioning is
Braum CC is very nice. I think Mundo's the only unit that feels like a fucking like hyper tank. You know, he just lives forever, and he has that thing about him where if you put 3 items on Mundo, sometimes he'll just 1v10. Like a Bramble on a Mundo, he will just kill an entire board of sins once your whole team's dead.
Oh yeah. There's one game I hit Mundo 3 on Elderwood Mutant.
Oh.
Wow. I mean,
Yes. Legit, if I didn't have to play all of the mutants, I probably could have just put him on that board and he would have never
And you
died.
just win.
Yeah.
probably just win.
I feel like what it is that it's really hard to play Syndicate with Braum unless you're like playing Akali Shaco stuff. Because like you don't want to play. I mean, Zyra's fine to play, but you don't really want to play. I guess you do kind of want to play TF. Like, okay, this is an aside for the aside, but I won a game the other day carrying blue buff TF with a Morello's the entire game, and I beat
Oh,
raised
yeah.
board, which is like
Yeah, yeah,
three
yeah, yeah.
2-star 5 costs.
Yeah.
But
For
that
sure,
aside,
yeah, that
like,
is what TF does.
yeah, in general, you don't want to play Syndicate a lot if like you just play Braum for like if you're just playing Flex frontline and you want a Braum because he's just a big frontliner that CCs, like it's really hard to get Syndicate in. It's kind of hard to get Bodyguard in too. Like Leona's really good, but sometimes you just don't have room for it. So it can
I
feel
feel
really
like
strange.
Leona's really good if you have Academy in, but I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
some of her
Oh yeah.
power budget is designed around her having Academy,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
I
Like,
totally agree. Like I think Mundo feel the thing is like Mundo Zac is such a crazy like Mundo Zac like Lissandra feels like such a crazy package to put in literally any fucking comp you want.
yeah,
And it'll just like I guess is maybe Mundo one of the reasons why Mundo feels so good to me is that like you can just play Zac and Lissandra with him like no matter what, and those units are so broken.
Mhm. Yeah,
Wait.
Mundo Zac, those two like I think Zac is so good too. Like Zac
Oh yeah.
CC is actually if you're not paying attention to it, you get fucked. You legit
Yeah.
just get fucked.
Yes.
He also does a surprising amount of damage.
Mhm.
it's too much. It's
Yeah, his
like
base
too
damage
much.
Yeah.
at 1 star is like 400 per
Yeah, I
unit he
know.
hits. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's so gross. Like this dude already has it's like one of the best like frontline CCs in the game as a 3 cost, and then he also just fucking chunks him while he's at it. Like,
Actually,
have you ever?
I have a
Oh, sorry,
question
go
for
ahead.
y'all. Actually, what do y'all think about like what you play around Urgot? Because I've seen the like 6 Bruiser version and the 5 Chemtech version, and I can't tell which is better. Because part of 5 Chemtech is like you play Liss, and Liss is
Uh,
insane. But
in my opinion, the highest cap version is whatever version you can stick a frog in. You can
Yeah.
put
Even
Yeah, you
Kenshin.
can put
yeah,
frog in
that's
Yumi.
that's
Yeah.
totally fair. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
because
like the.
Urgot,
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Pocky.
yeah, like Urgot gets stuck too sometimes against the front line.
Mhm.
So having the Kench actually like really helps out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like okay, like I think that like every game, maybe every other game, like the person who wins the lobby is just the person that has the level 9. And it's like 4 Bruiser with Kench Vi. They have Urgot Jinx, and it's just 5 Chemtech. And you're like, man, I've seen this so many fucking times. I just want to. I don't
Yeah.
know. That comp is so good. It's so fucking good.
Also,
Yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead, Abby.
I was gonna say I do like 5 Chemtech more most of the
Yeah.
time, just because you can play some pretty crazy stuff.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, Victor's really good, Lissandra's really good, Urgot's really good, Mundo's really
And-
good, Zac's
And if
really
you
good.
if you don't hit Kench, then like I mean you can't play 6 Bruiser because the 6 that's not Kench is Cho'Gath, and no. But I kind of want to experiment with like 5 Chemtech, 4 Bruiser, and then so it's just like 5 Chemtechs, Jinx, Vi, Kench. Because
That's
like
really good.
that sounds really
It's so
fucking
good.
good. Unlike the versions I see are like, oh, like 5 Chemtech plus Jinx plus like Janna, whatever. I'm like, well, Enchanter's not really a trait. Scholar's not that important for Urgot because he doesn't generate mana half the time. So, I'm like theory crafting live on podcast because I've barely played.
I think
But
for
like
the
it lets you
squad,
slot in Kench and 5 Chemtech, so that sounds pretty good. I don't know.
for the
Yeah.
scholar, it's like really mostly I think Yumi kind of needs scholar for her to cast properly.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
like you don't like, really care about the other units getting the
Yeah.
mana too much. It's just Yumi is so broken, you need scholar for her.
I think it depends
Yeah.
on what 5 cost you hit. If you hit Kench, then you can slot in 4 Bruiser. If you hit Yumi, then you slot in Scholar. Plus something else, I guess.
I think
Yeah.
I think some if you have like some certain augments that let you play Yumi pretty easily. That's clear. Like, I think built different, you can play Yumi really easily because like one like, you don't like, she doesn't get built different, but it's fine because she attaches something with like so much attack speed that she casts super quickly, essentially, which is really nice. Obviously, Yumi is just like one of those units that's oh god, the amount of times I've been Yumi diffed in the last week of this set being live makes me want to die.
Yumi is not balanced, and I
Oh.
swear to God, I'll play comps and be like, okay, I need Yumi. Well, I haven't hit Yumi yet. Like, here's my substitute, and I feel so much weaker.
Wait, Abby's was in one of my games. I was playing 6 bruisers plus a Yumi. I was doing Trundle
Oh,
carry
yeah.
with RFC Last Whisper Hodge. Trundle 2, I had Shrug It Off. I was going. I had Shrug It Off plus the thing that increases your healing. What is the first aid kit or
Make
whatever?
Take it, yeah.
Yeah. So I had those. I went fast 9. Accidentally fed my Trundle to my Kench. So I had
Ooh.
RFC Last Waster and Hodge sitting on bench. So I played 2 Kenches with 2 Yumis and 5 Bruisers. And that was my final board. And I beat a Giant Slayer Jin. They were like they had a fully upgraded board. I just had 2 Kenches. And they were on the board. And they just ate the whole board. And that was the whole fight. And I was like, oh. I legit have won both of the games where I accidentally sold my carry, like fed my carry to Cage.
I feel like Jin. All right, wait, feel free to chime in if anyone feels differently, but Jin feels so fucking bad, and like MF2 will consistently out DPS your Jin 2. Like you can give Jin 3 items and MF 3 items, and she will generally do like twice as much damage as him in any given round. I don't think Jin's bad, mind you. I think he's bad with items. I think Jin's super good, like to carry leftover shit with and an MF comp. Like MF2 with a random Jin 2, like Jin can pop off. I think he's the best 4 cost with like very little synergies. I don't even really need sniper. He can just throw him in whatever, like get clockwork or whatever for your team by throwing him in, and he'll do a lot. Like he can pop off randomly. But like if you try to solo carry that guy, he is the most unreliable piece of shit I have ever played.
Jin
He's
carry like solo is real. Like
Yeah,
you don't
he's
have
one of
another
those units that is incredibly positioning dependent. And even then, like, it doesn't 100% work out because it's not like Lux where it's like, oh, you need the correct side to hit for the enemy carry to be the farthest target. It's you need Jin's target to line up with their backline, which gets really sketched sometimes with positioning. And oh, Jin kills his target before he actually goes into ult, so then who he's actually targeting just becomes completely unreliable. So it's weird. Jin carry is really weird. Although I do think I think Force Sniper is really good though, and Force Sniper really helps him out because I mean his ult lets him hit cross map, and if it does hit cross map, that's one shotting the carry with Force Sniper.
Yeah.
So
also, I know Jirachi hates this, but real quick, we keep this on the podcast. That sniper nest thing is kind of busted. Like,
Yeah,
actually, gross as hell.
It's busted. It's busted
so
because then it encourages
busted.
not moving, which is my whole thing.
You
Yes.
just want your unit there in top 4 for
yeah,
free.
but
Oh, I
It's
want to
like-
move my units fast. Oh, here's an augment that encourages you to not move your fucking unit. Kill me now.
but it's
Oh,
actually
APM
like
later. No more APM for you.
makes no sense that like
Whatever.
tier 1 augment does like 50% more. Is it 40?
It's
40% more
It's
damage.
40.
Yeah, it's like
but it-
probably the highest power tier 1
Yeah.
augment.
I think part of why the game feels kind of like shit right now, like, I mean, it's opening set, it's supposed to feel like shit, but it's the augment balance. The augment balance is so bad. There's some crazy overtuned, busted augments, and some that are just hot garbage.
But that's the fun part is like figuring out
honestly, I
the
feel like-
broken combos, you know?
I feel like
I
the game
don't-
feels
I
pretty
don't-
fun.
I don't mind combos being broken, but it's just like you get one augment you get offered that one augment that's broken, no one else does, congrats. Like,
I don't know about
not a
that.
big fan of that.
I kind of disagree with that, to be honest. I don't think there's any. I mean, I think in certain situations, like if you get like offered a mutant spat on the mutant one, and you're like, okay, so mutant, then like that's one thing.
If
but
it's Dark Star and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, let me take this
I-
target dummy this time it's easy, right?
I don't think there are any augments that you can just take and instantly win a game necessarily. I think you just have to play well around them. Like Build Different, for example, right? Build Different's a free win streak on stage 2 and 3 generally, but you still have to like play because then later on if you want to like not play around Build Different anymore, because it will either like play around 5 costs, you roll like a 2 cost or a 3 cost with it, or you like a 2 cost and 3 cost with it, or you stop using it essentially, right? So then if you use it for the win streak and you stop using it, then all of a sudden you're down an augment late game compared to a lot of other players. So there's a lot of I don't think there's anything that like I don't know. I don't think there's anything that's like a free win right now. Like when
Yeah.
Oh,
That's my opinion.
except if you have the scrap thing and you get binary airdrop.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
That's pretty good.
The junkyard.
It's really good.
But that is also like a combo thing. It's
Yeah.
not just like
Mhm.
you get one augment, which
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Legit,
But I
I've
don't know.
had so many games where it's like I have full items on all of my units, and like you have binary airdrop, so it's like everything is full item. It doesn't even matter that some of the items are garbage because like you legit have three
So
times
many
the
items.
amount of items as everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think part of it is also like getting offered mostly bad ones and one like okay one. You're just like, well, there's no decision making here. I don't know. I have weird thoughts about augments. I'm not like in love with them. I do like it as a set mechanic, but I'm not in
Mhm.
love, and I think there are issues that with better balance can get worked out. It's just it's the beginning of set.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I chalk it up to right now.
I think right now it's like the tier 1 and 2 augments mostly feel pretty good. Some of them are like much weaker, like bodyguard.
Yeah.
You almost never want to pick that up. But it's just like the
Yeah.
tier 3 augments are like horribly unbalanced.
Yeah, you
and
get to
Yes,
the
yes,
first one and it's tier 3, it's like, ah shit, I got garbage.
it's
Okay.
a pop-up.
There was one. I think the prismatic opener is the only one where I feel like it can be really augmentative in a game, just off the bat.
Yeah.
There was one game where like okay, it was a prismatic opener. I think like 2 or 3 people got level up. I was one of them. Some people got like 2 people got windfall. Some dude, the best thing they got was double sniper with no snipers on their board.
Oh no.
See,
I've
normal.
seen someone go harder eighth in my fucking life.
See, normally you'd be like, okay, I can play like 6 sniper, or like I can play 4 sniper and drop 2 of the bullshit. But then the rest of the lobby is just so far ahead of that. They're just
Yeah.
like, ah, bitch.
They were typing in chat and they were like they were like I think they said that like 2-5 I played someone that was level 6, like 2-6 I played someone that was level 7, and 3-1 I played someone that was level 8.
What the
Did they die at 3-5 or what?
They died like the end of stage 4.
Oh, you actually managed to
Actually,
live.
you bring that up. I see so many stage 4
Sorry,
deaths.
end of stage, yeah.
Okay, well that too, but I also see so many stage 4 deaths.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
way more than last set. It's
Because you
nuts.
can't roll on 7 to stabilize as easily, I think. Like sometimes you just roll on 7, you hit Yone 1, and then Yone 1 gets killed by like this random shitter like Trundle 2, and you're like, oh, my carry is not a
Yeah,
carry.
I will say 2 things this set that do feel pretty bad. One is 1-star 4 costs.
I was
Those
just about
things
to bring that up.
are
Yeah.
god awful. Never put those in. If you have a fucking Trundle 2 or a Warwick 2 and you're like, oh, I could put in Yone 1 here, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Never do that. And then 2 is like, you know, like the fact that we don't have armories anymore means that sometimes you'll have those games where you'll be on 9 components going into Raptors. And that also feels like pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Now that we don't have armories and we're back to like set 4 item variants, I kind of hate it and wish
I
armories came
really
back.
like. I wish either bring back armories or just like increase the item like guarantees on some of the great
Earlier.
rounds.
They
Yeah,
used to do that in like
Yeah.
set 3, I
It-
think.
I think it's not so much the I got 9 components, it's the I got 9 components on by wolves and someone else got 12. So they're just an item and a half
Yeah.
up on you.
Yeah.
That's when it feels
like
bad. It's
losing every round.
So like honestly, decreasing the upper level, the ceiling of the items at wolves might not be a bad idea. Just like decrease the variance a little, because they
Yeah.
want variance in the game, but also like variance of how much you get always feels weird. Variance of what you get, I get, and they want to keep that in the game because that's what makes the game. You need to adapt to things that are going on, but just
Yeah, like
variance of
yeah.
variance of purely how much stuff you get always feels weird, and that's why like them taking out 4 gold opener felt really good, because it was just dumb on stage 1 when you got 4 gold, someone else got 6 gold, someone literally just got 2 gold more than you because the game decided to. and that was it.
You
You had,
two gold Nico, and you're like, ah, shit.
yeah, like
Oh
four,
my God.
two gold
Or-
Nico, two gold Nico, you could make an argument like. I
That's
mean,
the
we all
age-old argument.
I
We
hate it.
Nico with 3 costs. It's
I have a
fine.
clip where I'm just molding over 2 gold.
I'm pretty
Nico.
sure everyone in this call thinks that 2 gold Nico opener is worse than 6 gold opener, but like Nico versus 4 gold is not a strict argument. But there is no universe you can argue that 4 gold is as valuable as 6 gold.
Mhm.
Yeah, of
That
course.
and that level of I just get less stuff and that's the variance always feels bad.
Yeah, it takes some fucked up math to make 4 equals
Yeah.
6.
No.
For sure.
So like people having 3 more components on wolves is always going to feel bad for that exact reason. They just have more shit to work with.
This is another problem I have with no armory, and this is like from more of a I want my dopamine and like casual players play on their dopamine rush, is that not having another armory makes it feel like the game feel like there's not a ton of exciting stuff around like 4-1, 4-2 range. You normally get an armory around there, right? And you'd be like, oh, let's go. I have another thing to look forward to. But now like from the middle, like beginning of stage 3 to the end of stage 4, like there's not a lot of like dopamine unless you're like
I'm
you
down for this
actively-
to unlock the number of augments. Make it greater than 3.
Okay. Then you know the end of the set 4 fun change at the end of 6.5 is gonna be like 4 or 5 augments. It's gonna be fucking crazy.
How do you get an augment?
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean, like the
No.
4 fun is like obvious, right? They're just gonna make everything prismatic and then like make it 5 augments.
Yeah.
I'm
But,
not
I-
looking forward to that. God.
Yeah, I think there's a big reason for armory change, not just competitively, because it would be I think feel a lot better competitively, but also it just feel better like from a I want to play TFT for fun, but you know, like someone like that plays casually isn't gonna know to roll down on 4-1, you know, generally. But like, so there's not a lot like that's where like you know a competitive player can find a dopamine rush in the middle of their game. They want to hit, they just you know they light up a 4-1 roll down, take a long drag, and then get to the end of stage 4 for their augment, right? But
Me rolling 60 gold
Uh,
in 10 seconds for my dopamine rush.
but like a casual player without an armory, well, it's not like an insane thing to have. Like saying like, oh shit, I need a chain here so badly. And you get a chain. That shit hits. That hits hard, even though it sounds like it wouldn't. So I don't know. I think an armory coming back would just be a good change for like every aspect of the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of us for last set were thinking, yeah, out of everything that happened, armories are one of the best things that's ever happened to this game because it's just, for the most part, it's just positive. Like you get more control over stuff, but it's not you get complete control over your items. You're given options, and what you do can affect the outcome of your game. But, and Mort's reasoning, I know Mort brings up the negative of like, oh, like neutral rounds matter less. And I'm like, that's not as much of an issue. And I don't mind the value of what you get being spread out over a game because it always feels weird to me getting like 3 items on Krugs now. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a thing. This is happening all at once. And then I'm waiting for 3-2 armory. Or no, well, it's not 3. Well, not 3-2 anymore. But like, actually, it's like 4-2 and 5-2. I expect an armory, and it always feels weird when one never comes. Still, like 50 games in.
I'm like greeting my component, like shit. I need a chain here so badly. My army better have one. Like, oh, there is no.
There is
armory.
none.
Like the terror hits you.
And
Yeah,
I want to talk about this because I like Cats in Chat said what I like about no armory is that it forces you to adapt way more. Sometimes you just don't get the items you need to go to the comp you're intending to. And I disagree with that because especially with the augments, a lot of times the augments kind of just force you in one direction. Like you get presented 3 trait augments, you have to take one and to commit in that direction. And that now you have to commit to that and you have no control over your items. And if you get fucked over on items, then it's just an 8th. It does increase the variance by a little too much.
I feel like
But there's an
Kevin's eyes are
argument that it's more. It is arguable that there's more skill involved in playing with no armory, but it is definitely a pain not being able to choose items.
Also, my hot take is that the set is a little worse competitively than set 5.5. I think we have, just because as a competitive game, there are more things that are out of our control. And it's not that there's about as much skill expression in the game as there was in Set 5.5. Like, the level of skill expression has not gone down at all. There's still a ton of skill expression in the game, but there's just less we have control over, and that's going to increase variance, and that's always going to feel bad in a tournament, especially when there's so few games in a day, and every bit of variance is just going to matter more.
I think 5.5 was pretty low skill.
Really?
Because there's so many.
Bell cause 20 out of 10.
Roll
It's
down
like-
on 7, beat Bill Cause 2.
My
It's
hot
not-
take is that Set 5.5 had a shit ton of skill in it, but whatever.
I think it's because when it comes to 5.5, one, there's very little argument for rolling on 3-2 ever, unless you're like really fucked. And then on top of that, you get 2 armories and radiant armory, so that covers 4 item components for you,
Yeah.
which
Although,
like
if-
really lowers like how much you have to actually think
Adapt.
about your items. Yeah, adapt to your items.
If they lowered it back to like take out radiant armory and then it was just 3 components for armory, like it's only 1 less, but that might feel a little better.
Mhm.
I'm not sure.
I think my take on it is I personally think Set 6 is like gonna have a lot. You know, obviously you haven't seen any tournaments yet, so like, no one can say for certain what the competitive like viability or whatever Set 6 is gonna be. But I think there are just a lot more decisions to make, which is generally increases the skill cap. There are so many fucking decisions to make. And there are so many ways to like get to a board that isn't conventional but still wins games and stuff. Um, that I personally think it's going to be a really high skill cap and it's going to be like a really great set competitively. But we'll see, right? I mean, the first tournament's tonight, so
Yeah.
hopefully that optimism pays off.
And I don't disagree that like there's more decisions if anything, and that's why I say like the skill expression is still very much there. It's just the variance is going to always have such a big effect on high level play that where like all the players are pretty similar in skill level, so it really comes bad variance can completely fuck someone over. See Ramkev at regionals. Like
I can't believe I rolled that much gold and didn't hit Lucian 2 though.
my point exactly, like you got fucked by variance, and when there's more of that, then it's just going to lead to it's going to inevitably lead to tourneys not having results you expect, and you look at it and you're like, well, this person played well, they just got fucked, which never feels good as a spectator / fan or as the player it happens to.
I think my counter to that is that so far this set, I've played like 100 and something games. I don't think I've felt augment gapped before. Like I don't think I feel like I got a worse augment than someone, so I was the one who.
Really?
Yeah, okay.
Really?
Like no, like, I guess I feel like I don't feel like I've like not to like such a degree where I'm like I should have top 4 this game, but I didn't because I got a worse augment than them. I feel like I can top. Like I don't think augment has been the difference between like someone top 4ing over me more often than not. Maybe like once or twice. I mean, I'm just not thinking about it, but I don't feel like I had thinking about a situation where I was able to blame my augment for why I bought Ford.
Oh, I mean, there's
It can
definitely
cause
argument.
placements though, for sure.
There's argument that like, oh, right now you should be focusing on just like improving and stuff. But I think it's definitely true that certain augments just let you play the game without like you don't even have to think really. A lot of the
Sure, built
time.
different.
Like
Built
it's
different.
literally just like send you
Five
to 3 top
put on
4.
board.
Or
3
if
top
like
4.
or if you get like if you get like double merc on 1/4, okay, I'm playing mercs, I guess, and then like your game is just laid out
Good
for
old
you.
mercenaries.
Yeah, but I also don't feel like even though someone might get built different on like 1/4 and whatnot, or like whatever, at least someone gets merc span and stuff. I don't feel like I feel like I'd never gotten an augment on. I mean, again, I could totally be wrong with this, and I just am forgetting the time I mauled it on stream or something about this, but I don't feel like I've gotten an augment where I was like I'm autobot 4 or like I can't top 4 this game because I got the shitty augment. You know, I feel like I'm always able to play around the augment to a top 4. I don't feel like I've been that hard augment gapped, at least to this point. And maybe I'm like blaming things that when I shouldn't blame the augment, but I don't know.
No, I think that's a fair point. It's not like it's not a huge gap. It's not an auto eighth depending on your augment, unless the the example from that prismatic lobby where
Prismatic. Yes,
someone
the
took
prismatic ones are
silver.
really bad.
Yeah,
Essentially.
like that. I mean, that's
That's the
inevitably
situation.
that is a very rare case, but like augments can cost placements, and
Yes.
sometimes what
Yes.
a bad augment costing you one placement can make or break a tourney.
I do think, however, that like being able to choose the proper augment can also like increase your placement, and that's like the
Yes.
thing.
Oh, oh, I totally agree. Yeah,
and there
and
are a
that's one
lot
of
of
those
people that miss out on
decisions.
the values.
That's one of those decisions that does promote skill expression. So it's not that augments are straight bad for the game. I just am not the biggest fan of them. That's just me.
I think
They just
doing
need to
augments.
fix.
Sorry, go ahead, Buggy.
They just need to fix the balance on the tier 3, I think.
Yes.
Because
It's
those
that.
are the ones where you can actually get augment gap.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of
Even nothing
situations.
useful.
Yeah. There are a lot of situations where like I think like you can say augment so we say that augments if you get bad augments you can lose placements if you get like choose wisely you can get good placements. That's like everything in TFT, you think like augments are like that just makes them sound like items, if you get bad items you lose placements. If you learn how to play around good items, like learn how to play around them, you get good placements. It's like I don't know, I think it just adds like another layer to TFT more than anything, and like you can big brain some combos as well. Like some augments that aren't great turn in really good when you get certain other augments. So it's like set yourself up for success sometimes as well. There's a lot of skill expression in augments. And obviously, like it's another aspect of the game that does add more variance, but it also you can't add more skill expression to a game without adding to a game like TFT. I think without adding like some level of extra variance. Um,
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah,
but
that's true.
What about like? How would augments plus having armory affect things? Because I feel like I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of decisions happening, but I also feel like armory was just one of those mechanics that both decreased variance and increased skill expression, why I think we all loved it.
I don't know about skill expression, but it was definitely just nice to
increased
have.
variance, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was what would I say? I think when it comes to the game time, it might go really long then. Because
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like some of the
Yeah, that's true.
the
too.
amount of time you spend waiting around for
Yeah.
the rounds for the augment, when you pick augment and then you're just sitting for like 40 seconds. You're just staring at other people's boards and seeing
I'm
what
so
augments they take.
I'm so not excited for this turn, like for the getting an augment in this tourney. Like I pick one like the first couple seconds because it's so good. I get like Newton Spout and Elderwood, and then I'm just sitting there for 50 seconds, like, oh my god, did I make the right choice? What am I doing? Like I got to scout everyone. I got it's just
Oh no! If you
there's
take
too much
Newton
time.
Span on Elderwood, you made the right choice.
There's so much
Popcorn,
time
be happy with it.
where it's like on stream, like if I get an augment, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna chat for the next minute. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. There's just so much
Yeah.
downtime because of it, which
Yeah.
can get a little
Yeah.
annoying if you have a quick decision. And I do think they should lower the amount of time that you have to pick an augment.
Yeah, they can definitely chop off 5 seconds and it'll feel really good.
Because
But-
if you
Like
add
20 makes it
armory,
insane.
it might take even longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. that is a totally fair point though.
Mhm.
Like game
I think
time
that-
would get out of control.
That might be one of the reasons why they remove it. Because I think design wise, I don't even know why they would remove it. It didn't feel like armories were exactly what was tied to set 5.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Armories didn't feel like
Right.
a set mechanic. It just felt like
Yeah.
a new thing they were adding.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And shadow
It
items
was
and then
just
radiant
different.
items were the mechanic.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god.
I'm sure they have reasons. We can ask Kent if we ever get him on.
Oh yeah. I just thought about shadow items for a second, and like shadow blue rise hold in my head, and I like
Okay,
I
so
don't want to think about that.
oops,
I don't want to think
nope.
about that.
let's table that.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk about
we can
shadow
also
items.
rant to Kent. So how the fuck did y'all let Shadow Blue Rise be broken for that long?
It wasn't that it was broken. If it was broken, they would have nerfed it. The numbers were fine. It's just unfun.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
it was toxic.
There's two
It was
different things.
it was broken. It wasn't overpowered, but it was broken. Like there's a difference. So, in between Appy's bitching about Thresh, even after Thresh is gone.
Thresh. I hated that unit. I Blitzcrank in the game. Oh, give me Blitzcrank any day over Thresh. Fuck Thresh. Is all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say. I don't have to
Act-
have some 4 range shitter on my team just because someone's running a 2 cost at stage 6. Feels so good.
Actually, while we're on that, is it just me or is trapclaw fake now?
It's pretty
Mm,
fake because there's a lot of things that are like multi-hit stuff and
mhm.
random things prompt your track really
Yeah,
easily.
and it's so easy. Like normally you'd use trapclaw to stop the hook, but it's so easy to position against Blitzcrank. Like
Also,
you,
nobody plays Blitzcrank late game.
also that
usually.
no. Oh, I've put units. I'll like auto position units second hex just because I'm used to. Oh, I don't want this blitz hooked, and I gotta pay attention. But then I scout around like, wait, there's no Blitzcranks. Like that
Mhm.
unit doesn't exist late game right now because
Yeah.
no one really plays bodyguards late game. His
Mhm.
his synergies do suck late game. It's not like
Yeah.
set fourth rush where like you could easily keep him in cybers because Chrono and what was he? What was he in
You know,
set four?
set three Blitzcrank
Set three, yeah,
is
that's my bad.
Chrono Brawler.
Chrono Brawler,
So
like
good.
yeah.
that was
Like he was
Really good.
he was so good to splash into cybers and you could just keep him the whole game.
Mhm.
But if you splash him now, you're playing him for pretty dead synergy.
Well, like with Jinx, he had really good synergy, right? Because
That
like Jinx
too.
relied on the reset, so a
Mhm.
lot of people
Oh,
just
yeah.
played Blitzcrank to get a free reset on Jinx. And like late game, you probably were playing Blitzcrank with Jinx, but nowadays it's like Jinx doesn't even do that. Who the hell needs a Blitzcrank anymore? You want to
Yeah.
grief your snipers? You can grief your snipers by bringing them closer.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah, he's a unit like he's just a much healthier design, like unit design than Thresh, but his synergies right now fucking blow. I don't
Yeah.
know. Who wants to be playing scrap late game too?
Scrap falls off a fucking cliff late game. Holy.
It's nice though if
Mm.
you have like a Janna, just like a
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
nice if you just like splash Janna for the random 2 scrap. You just give it a shield and cool.
Mhm.
Like
It's
it's
like
not.
the shield is still non-negligible. Like it
Yeah.
scales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
into
Oh,
the
for
late
sure.
game.
Yeah,
It's
scrap is
not
okay.
like it's not like that trait literally does not exist late game. It's just not as it falls off for sure.
Yeah, it falls off. The units aren't as good. Like all of the scrap units are pretty bad late
Oh, yeah.
game.
Like Jinx and Janna.
Yeah, they're all early
Yeah.
game, except for the
Scrap
Yeah.
is very much feels like an early game focused synergy in both the units and how the synergy works, and that's kind of okay, actually. But
it doesn't feel strong enough early though.
it does. It
Yeah.
also doesn't. It feels
Yeah.
low-key, I think it feels good, but for being an early game synergy, it doesn't feel quite good enough.
Yeah, or like as quickly as it falls off a cliff is the thing.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, has anyone seen someone play 6 scrap? 'Cause I feel like that's the one synergy I've never seen.
Apparently, Euban told me that he played a game with 6 scrap and got it first with it.
Really?
But he was like,
Really?
I
he had
don't know.
junkyard. I bet he had junkyard. If he had junkyard, I could see it.
Is Euban here? No, he's not. But I think he just ended up with Jinx carry, and he had like a bunch of scrap emblems or something, so he just
Mhm.
played it.
Jinx is
But
like
it
the
was probably a
saving
high roll.
grace.
Yeah, exactly.
The absolute saving grace of scrap. I don't know. I would like to see scrap change in some way. I just don't know how you change. I mean, I'm not a game designer. I don't know. I'm not going to talk without knowing, but I would like to see it change in some fashion to see it like do some stuff late game.
I think one of the big issue is like if you run scrap, you're playing like praying that you get good items off of scrap synergy to begin
Yeah.
with. Right?
Yeah.
Because you just get like
Maybe
really
one-
bad.
Mhm.
You get bad items off of it, like you get like ZZ Rod on your backline or something like that. It's just like, why am I running this shit?
Yeah, yeah. Someone Nas just said discuss Galio. Can we talk a little bit about Colossus?
I think Colossus is dope.
I think it's so cool. Only when you have that augment that makes him invulnerable at 60% and 30% HP. And then that's a little
Yeah.
asterisk.
Galio feels so weird as frontline because
feels
he
so bad
drops
as frontline.
aggro.
Yeah,
Like,
he just
a
dips.
frontliner that drops aggro? What? Huh?
I still think though that Galio 2 is like legitimately
Good. Yeah,
the
he's
best
still good.
frontliner.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
insane.
Yeah, but I think you
Just
need
that
something else
Galio
too.
2.
Otherwise you're back. Like if you have like playing Yone and your only front line is like it's like Galio and like let's say you only have like 1-star Leona for some reason, or you don't have items on Leona, and then Galio dips and then Yone gets targeted and you're like, this isn't
Yeah.
fun.
No, but
This isn't
sometimes
fun.
the Galio, if you stack him with tank items, he'll solo out the Yone for you anyways.
I don't know. I think he's cool. I think 1-star Galio maybe needs some. I don't know. I just wish he wouldn't drop aggro. I wish there was a way to make him not drop aggro. Because if he didn't drop aggro, he'd feel so good. I feel like.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
too difficult to do with his ult, right? Because like if he
yeah.
didn't drop aggro, then the entire enemy team would just like be sitting there doing nothing while he's ulting, and it's like
Yeah.
that's a little bit too busted, I think. It's a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
bit
Maybe just
I
make
don't
his ulti
think.
cast faster.
I honestly think they could like maybe add something onto the ult that's not just CC.
Someone said a taunt after he lands.
That might work. That
ooh.
might work.
That'd
Yeah.
be good,
But
right? Like he
Plus
lands
that's
and taunts.
in
Oh
line
wait,
with how
Galio.
he works
Yeah.
in League, right?
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
that's true.
Wait, okay. Well, okay, Kent needs to pay me because or whoever said that in chat a while ago, because that's the way to do it. Just make him taunt after he lands.
Yeah, it's like
It feels
cultist.
so bad that he just drops aggro like an idiot. Like, I don't know. I don't want like it would also because I feel like there's just problems with Galio. They're not maybe not a problem, like a situation that happens. Like he ults in the back line, and then he's duking it out, and he's punching the Jinx to death before she ults away. While like the rest of the fight's going on, like he's just like boxing these guys in the back line while the rest of the fight's going on, and everyone's like, and then all of a sudden his whole team's dead, and it's just him. He's like,
Yeah, that's
ah, Highlander. There can only be one.
Also, this garbage unit takes up 2 slots, which yeah, let's take out let's take 2 slots to play this shit. Yeah, that sounds like how to get first.
It depends
yeah.
though. Like if you're playing like what's his face? Who's the other big like
Scion.
Scion carry with
Sure.
Galio? That's
He
a
Yeah.
feels, yeah.
I
He can feel
legitimately
weird.
won the game against like an Urgot 3 with a Scion 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it feels bad that he's in that one. He only feels like a unit in that one specific comp. That's not even super popular or anything.
Like
What?
Galio before with like things like Victor though. Like if you do Victor carry, he's like pretty decent there. Stalls.
Yeah, you just need CC to
Yeah, you just
stall,
need
right?
CC.
Yeah.
Plus
Yeah, I think
like
he's. Oh, sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was gonna say like Victor is a bit more socialite hex friendly than things like Lux.
Yeah,
Because like you can
for sure.
basically stick him anywhere as long as he ults.
Mhm,
It doesn't matter where he is because Victor
mhm.
ult is gonna hit the entire board.
And
Yeah.
he likes having that mana a
Yeah.
lot.
I was gonna say it feels like Gallia is something you don't really want to play most of the time with like a melee character, like a Yone or like I
Mhm,
don't know, it feels like he wants like something that doesn't take aggro as soon as he dips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like it seems like Galio with a Victor in the back is so fucking good because Victor does infinite damage, Galio does infinite CC, and then he comes down and he just keeps tanking, right? Because they turn on Galio instead of like yeah, if you're not running a melee unit as your carry, like they don't start hitting your Yone, they just like maybe kill the Leona, then Galio's back, and then they just turn on Galio, which is way better than watching your poor Yone get. watch Braum. He's like reaching out to Braum as he jumps or out to Galio as he jumps away in the distance, and then like you just see all the enemy team just crowd around Yone, and Galio's like, I'm out, peace. Yeah, like Kaisa, Victor, etc. Um, he's definitely he can be really good. I feel like Cho is the most useless sack of shit if you don't hit him. Like one super early and two. There are two situations. One super early, or the second one is Elder
Dark
Mutation.
Star,
And
I
then
don't know, Elderwood mutation.
Yeah.
yeah,
Cho'Gath is like set 4 Vigar, except set 4 Vigar, you get him like semi-early but a little later. Okay, he's still pretty good. He can stack up still. You get him stage 1, okay, he's fucking broken. Cho'Gath is, you get him semi-late, not a unit. You hit him on stage 1, okay, now he's a unit, cool.
His skill is so weird to me.
Doesn't matter. You just
yeah,
stick with
it's
it.
so weird.
I don't get why the skill damage increases by 100 per star. It's actually worse.
When I looked at that, I was like, wait, it
Yeah.
only increases by 100.
I wish his chomp scaled off of his health, but it would be a little bit.
Oh yeah, that would be a little bit too broken.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be busted
Yeah.
out of his mind.
But
I don't
it's
know.
like the damage scaling is like worse than anything I've ever seen. TFT. And we saw like LeBlanc after she got gutted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's such a tiny like you look at like sometimes you look at the one cost, right? Like Twitch gets like 25 extra damage on his ult per thing, but then you're like, oh, it starts at 25, so it literally gets doubled and then it's triple the one cost at the end, right? And then Cho is like, I don't know what the bases are, but it's really just like this little bit of extra bite, this little bit extra bite, and then you see you get your 3-star Cho. He walks up to a front line, you're like, oh, he's about to eat the shit out of this Braum. It does like this much damage to it, like this tiny little tidbit. The Braum takes.
Let's
You're
say
like,
though, if
I'm
you've
going
had
in.
him stacked for a long time and you have like a redemption on him, it's
Yeah,
kinda-
he's still tanky.
Redemption
Yeah,
is
he's still
so
tanky.
good. He can be very tanky.
legitimately the grossest thing of all
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's more just a tank that
Mhm.
sometimes does damage.
If a super stack Cho'Gath with a redemption is just a time bot for Malzahar 3.
Or just anyone else. Like
Or anyone else, yeah.
Kaisa.
Or Kog'Maw 2. That's also a pretty good one if you're playing other
Wait, Kevin, what is Nico in that game?
Nico to Kog'Maw at level 8. And
What,
win.
2?
I would Nico for
There's a game on
Kog'Maw
his
2
Twitter.
because I fast aided with Kog'Maw 1.
Is
Elderwood.
that broken?
So
No,
busted.
No,
it's
Elderwood's
Elderwood.
not.
It's just
It's
Okay,
Elderwood.
Elderwood.
Fucking blows the Elderwood.
Elderwood
Noted.
and Darkstar is like the
Yeah.
really strong ones.
Yeah,
You know, Kog'Maw has 30 base AD.
yeah, it's awful.
What
But
is
like
that?
it's just like you think about the other Elderwood trade or like not the other mutant trades, like sometimes I think about Cyber and I was like, none of these units really use like the AD part of the Cyber thing like at all.
I
The
actually
thing,
won a
right?
game on Cyber Mutants
Ooh.
yesterday or the day before. It was I like rerolled Cog. I had a high roll opener, so I rerolled Cog Trist. I don't think I
can see that
three-starred
slightly.
Go, but it was like I had like really good items. It was
Mhm.
I just like went full AD Cogmaw. It was like Last Whisper, i.e. Renans or something, and then it was like Redemption.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that being decent.
yeah, it was okay. I won the game, but I think it was a pretty low roll lobby. It didn't
Mhm.
feel like it should have been as strong as it was.
Yeah.
Basically,
It feels like the cyber, like the HP feels the more impactful
Yeah,
part.
Oh, yeah.
like the HP
Yeah.
is a lot
Yeah.
better, but like
Yeah.
the AD thing, like
It's like
almost all of the
whatever.
carries are like AP carries, ideally, right? Like
Yeah.
Kog'Maw has 0 AD. I guess he does have AD after the cyber thing, but
it is not a lot. It's like as much as like Malzahar 1 starts.
yeah.
I don't know.
It-
It's yeah. Well, I just realized that we are supposed to be keeping it a little shorter. So, do we know if we Kevin, did you see if there are any questions in your chat?
I saw one
Or-
question from Beppo.
What was the question?
Where was this?
Let me scroll up.
What are your
quick.
thoughts on Set 6 Deathblade?
Starts with D, ends with E.
That
I
is
don't
a
know,
thought, yes.
it's interesting. I think there are a lot of ways to think about it. In comparison to old Deathblade, it's not as good, obviously. I don't think it's a bad item. I think especially with Bramble being so popular, it's not a bad item. But it definitely lacks the panache of set 5 Deathblade.
I think
Yeah.
in some ways it's like if you're going for a 3-star unit, it's kind of
Yeah.
stronger.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
yeah, and but it does definitely need some adjustments. It's just the AD itemization. If you don't go IE, it just feels kind of bad. Like GS isn't
Yeah.
bad since everyone's playing like
5 costs.
Bruisers all the
Yeah,
time.
bruisers and-
But then it's just like for the majority of the game, it doesn't feel that good to make a GS.
GS feels like a bad slam again. It doesn't feel like a bad item, just a bad slam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because nothing early game goes over GS cap now.
There are a lot of war mods running around, but and a lot of bruisers early game, but
And
I
it's
do
good to
think
build different.
it is. It is really good. I think GS can be good in a lobby if it's the right lobby in the beginning
Yeah.
lobby, but then it scales so well. Like if you get like GS stage 4, stage 5 is so or really
Yeah, it's
stage
really
5
strong.
becomes amazing. Becomes amazing. Because everyone's like I don't know, everyone
It's
either has
making Bramble
bruisers or
anyway.
yeah.
Everyone's slamming Brambles to deal with the IE slammers.
Yeah.
So the GS becomes a bit
Yeah.
more higher value as a
Got-
result.
Bramble is
Mhm.
just such high value right now because itemization has just swung back to crit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. We can do one more question here. I guess we can do 1.5. Gangly wants to know, PockyGom, if you are there's a LAN event in Jersey,
I'm
and
playing.
he wants to know if you're interested.
Oh,
It's at Rutgers.
is that Rutgers?
Yeah.
Possibly. I'll think about it, but
All right, just want to draw your attention to
try.
that, and then uh, let's see. As a follow up, what items are winners and losers in the set change? Um,
I think all of the items are winners.
yeah, I
Except,
kind of agree.
yeah, I mean, like,
And
I
nothing
think.
feels bad. The thing is, nothing feels bad right now.
Mhm.
I can't think of an item I wouldn't want. Like maybe
I think
Frozen Heart feels a
Shonen.
lot worse, but just because there's not
Yeah.
a lot to put it on right now, I feel like. But
Mhm.
like Frozen Heart Jinx can potentially be okay sometimes. You know, like an
It's
item
all
for
right.
it.
But
Yeah,
like, obviously, if you're playing Sins, you still want to play Frozen Heart a lot of the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think like the one thing is Shojin doesn't feel great, but it's
I do.
still
No.
usable in a
All
lot of.
the AP, or not all the AP, like a lot of the AP users are better with blue buff now, I think is what it is. Like Shojin versus blue buff Lux is night and day.
But like, I think there are a good amount of legendaries that can use
Yeah.
it pretty good.
I
Yeah.
So, like,
low-key,
I agree
I
with.
think Shojin's super good because you can play it on MF, you can play it on Malzahar until you hit a Victor, and just really for those, I think it's okay. I don't think it's bad. I don't. Maybe it's not like amazing. I think it is worse than Blue Buff probably, but like being able to play it on MF feels amazing, and like it's the same on Malzahar. Like Lux, you need Blue Buff really for the reset because like you don't want to have to auto a lot of the time.
Mhm.
But
I think
also
it's about the
just-
same.
yeah.
yeah,
It's about the same because like the blue buff users kind of scale down usually, while the late game Shoujin users are
Yeah.
like a lot stronger.
that's
I
true.
think
MF
blue buff feels like a slightly better slam.
Yeah,
Like
stronger
it's
all
a
the
little,
way.
it's a little bit
Yeah.
more flexible of a slam because it just has more users, and Shojin, all of Shojin's users are not low cost units.
I
At
mean,
least I can
MF's
think
like
of.
Yeah,
there's
MF,
not a lot to
MF
put it on
is
before you hit MF. But if you have an MF already, I think Shojin's like crazy.
Oh, I full agree with that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the
Um,
new Archangels? That's another one. I think that's pretty good.
I
think
can't
It's
get a
fine.
read on
really
it,
nice.
honestly.
I really like hard slamming Archangels when I'm playing Elderwood Mutant, by the way.
Mm.
Playing Elderwood Mutant.
Wow,
Very good
Kevin.
item.
What a surprise!
Yeah, man, the hot take that Elder Mutant might be good.
I think Archangel is like super good on Victor because
yeah, it's
I
really
think
nice.
he
Yeah.
casts really slowly anyway,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the whole point of the comp is to like stall, so
Yeah.
yeah.
it works out for him.
And
But
also like
low-key-
tanky AP carries, you can stick that on like Liz,
Mhm.
you can do it
Yeah.
on Warwick, you can do it on like even Mundo, like it's not terrible on Mundo. Or if you have it on like a Tom Kench too, pretty good.
Oh.
Pretty dope.
yeah,
Pretty dope.
Actually, everything is good on Tom Kench too, I'm pretty sure.
true.
You could definitely you could play fucking AD Kench and it'd still be good.
Runan's catch.
Runan's Kench, yep. Oh, Flash in chat suggests triple Shiv Kench, yeah. Sounds
Wait,
pretty good.
can he auto while he's eating something?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, he can. Oh.
Mhm.
I've officially
How-
checked in for this tournament.
Nice.
How do you recommend beating Tom versus going
9.
9? You
Go
feed
9.
Tom to go 9, right? You feed the Tom Kench so
Yeah.
that he can kill stuff quicker so you
And you
get
get money.
Go on.
Exactly.
I think you feed Kench
Friends.
within econ intervals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
could feed with an econ. Like you don't
Yeah.
want to
you don't lose gold in the value of the unit plus the econ interval, but like you feed him units. Just don't lose an eco interval to do it.
Or you accidentally feed him your trundle too.
Yeah, don't do that either.
Or your Kaisa too. That would be real awkward.
That'd be real.
Or your what was it? That we tried to get Appies to do feed a Brahms 3 to Kench. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Honestly,
really
that might be a higher value.
maybe.
3 sucks.
I want a 3-star, a 5 cost, and feed it to Kench. That's my goal this set. That and the Urgot build where it's like Arcanist spat with the on hit like Spellblade augment. Those are my 2 goals. If I hit those, I'll probably die happy. Probably.
Just retire from TFT.
Yeah, I like play
That's
a game
fine,
of
man.
Arcanist Urgot with that augment, and then I get up, I walk out of the room. You never see me again. The stream never ends.
I'm working on my 3-star 5 cost collection. I have Jinx and Tom Kent right now, so I just need to get.
Oh.
I haven't hit a 3-star 5 cost since set 4.
Mercs.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mercs.
Right.
Do it.
I had the one where you get more damage from the amount of gold you have with the Mercs. I
Oh, no.
carried UT2 all the way to level 9, and I had infinite gold, and I got a Nico off of Dragon. I didn't even get it from Mercs, and then I just Nico to Jinx 3, and then Tom Kench was... I hit Tom Kench 3 on level 8.
Does that augment cap out the gold one?
Yeah, it's 60 gold.
60. Oh, that's still a
Wow.
lot of damage though.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
It's like Sniper's Net, but brokener. Except you have to have more gold.
You can
have
move,
to be
you
in
just
a
have
good
to have a ton of
spot.
money. You can move, you just can't roll. That with like, and I guess that would give you a reason to play Rich Get Richer. You know, I would be on the 10 gold initially.
But yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like we're trying to wrap up soon, but before we wrap up, I need to clarify. Yes, I'm playing in this LAN in Rutgers, but I'm still retired. I've just never played in a LAN and want to. It's for fun. I'm not. I'm still retired. Shut up, y'all.
Is there a prize pool?
It might be eggs.
Is there a PP?
Oh
It
shit,
literally-
eggs?
It's literally just we go to a LAN and have fun. That's
Yeah,
literally the whole point.
That's a Chad move though. You win a tournament so you can play a gotcha.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's lit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You win a tournament so I get access to my Genshin account.
Nice. So like, yeah.
It does sound really fun though.
Pivot.
I've been retweeting all the Gangly stuff as I see
Pocky,
it.
come play.
I'll see.
Well, on that note, chat, I think we are going to call it there. I have to run for this tournament. Thank you so much to everyone who listened. Thank you so much to Pocky for being an amazing guest and for having a sick fucking hat. I'm going to look for one online. Thank you so much to Jirachi and Remkev for being great co-hosts as always. And that was episode 12 of Triforce Tags Podcast. We'll see you next week. Kiss a homie. Mwah.
Peace.
Bye bye.